So according to Elgato, according to, if you can hear me, guys, just confirm that you are able to hear me, and then we will continue. I can see that the voice is coming in now. We can hear you. Excellent, Rishal. Excellent. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So I had to use another audio source for some reason. I'm not sure what's the deal there. But welcome again, everyone. And let's hop right into the cockpit. And V1 Simulations has actually recommended that we fly this livery today, which is the Battle Gray United livery, which is the old one for United. Now, from the visual perspective, nothing really has changed. So this is pretty much the IXEG 737 in all its glory. It's a very nice looking aircraft from the visual perspective, and from the fidelity of the textures, it does look pretty good. And the interior hasn't changed either. Maybe a little bit. Some of the textures maybe have been improved, but overall, this is pretty much the X-Plane 11 variant or X-Plane 11 version of the aircraft. I did notice that they've made some changes to the cabin, which we can take a look at here. You can see here the cabin. Not bad. It's pretty nice texturing, nicely modeled cabin overall, but nothing really has changed. No drastic changes there in terms of the look and feel of the aircraft. So I was a little bit kind of waiting for something, something like a really big change, but much to my disappointment, as a matter of fact, that this aircraft actually offers less than the X-Plane 11 version. Though I absolutely adore this aircraft, one thing you'll notice that you have the menu here. You do not have the pre-flight menu anymore, which you were able to load the aircraft payload and fuel, and then get the center of gravity and all that good information and load it into the FMC. That is gone. Yeah, it is out. It is there for grabs. So that was a little bit disappointing from my perspective. Just having less features isn't a good thing when you're calling it the Classic Plus, right? So again, when you used to move down with the previous version, you would get the preset menu here. That is gone as well. So kind of less features. Some problems with the 3D modeling. The pilot and co-pilot seats does not have the armrest is in the upward position, and you cannot move it. So it looks a little bit off here. But if we move to this side here, you can see the armrest. You just can't move it, which looks a little bit strange. I normally actually move it out of the way. So I normally put it in the upright position just for usability. But again, just a few things that were off. Everything else is the same. So let's take this aircraft for a flight, $89 or $84, something like that. So let's go ahead and first, we're going to set up the fuel. So we're going to go to the configuration. Fortunately, that's the only way that you can set up your weight and balance. And for an aircraft that costs what it cost, this is, in my view, this is not acceptable, especially when the aircraft had, the load and balance, the pre-flight menu. So, just food for thought. I mean, you know me, guys, by now. I'm pretty honest when it comes to these things. I love the IXEG. It's my one of my absolute favorites, and it was my favorite. But when things are not right, we have to call them out. And this is, in my view, is a step down for the IXEG. So let's go to the payload here, 26,500. We're going to set this here to 26,500. Right, and the fuel for our flight today is 15,200. So 15,200 pounds of fuel, and we're going to say done, and then we're going to say apply, and now we have basically the fuel load and the payload and the fuel loaded into the aircraft. Okay, so inflation has not been kind to anyone. I guess so, Niels. Unfortunately, I can only stay for another 20 minutes. Thought I would catch the beginning at least. No worries, Trishal. All right. So with that, we are going to connect the ground power unit. So that's the new IXEG menu. From the preferences, you are able to set the camera shaking, winglets, steam gauge versus the engine instruments. So digital versus steam. I like the steam. The eyebrow windows is something you can set. You can also adjust the yoke height. That is, again, something I like, as you can see here. So I leave it there because it's easier to read the displays. And you've got, again, weights, metrics, and imperial units, and lots of other things here. Single engine operation, pause at TOD, fast IRU alignment, and what have you. So we're going to come in cabin crew. You can actually now instruct your cabin crew to open and close all the doors, as you can see here. And you can also simulate a number of failures, which is okay, not extensive, but sufficient, I think. I would love to see, more of that in future updates. But it was, I thought this was very concise but complete. So from the ground services here, we're going to connect the ground power unit, and we're going to head over to the overhead panel. We're just going to make sure very quickly that the landing gear lever is in the down position. Both fuel switches are in the cutoff position. The throttles are in the idle detent. And with that, we're going to move to the overhead panel. The wiper still doesn't work, and they've confirmed that they've included this for the upcoming patch. And by the way, if you're having an issue with the IXEG, if your throttles do not move, that is the culprit is more than likely the XPUIPC. So I've removed it for this flight in order to be able to fly the aircraft, because the throttles won't move with XPUIPC in your resources plugins folder. Okay, so with that, let's come here to the battery switch. The sounds, I love the sounds on the IXEG. Sounds, the battery is on, and we're going to connect the ground power. With the ground power connected, we are going to come down here, and we're going to test the engine fire test and the APU fire test as well, which checks okay, and the cargo fire test as well, and all checks okay here. Those lights will significantly drop your frames, so let me just remove this here. And we don't need those. Yeah, we don't need those background lights there. And that's not something that is indigenous to the IXEG. It is with almost all airplanes in X-Plane. All right. So with that, let's do a quick check here of the overhead panel. We're going to make sure that the crew oxygen supply is normal. And we're going to conduct the Mach speed test 1 and 2. Stall warning 1 and 2. Let's set the adheres to nav mode. And there it is, the check. We're going to move down here to the overhead panel. And we're going to turn on the yaw damper. Everything here looks good. Left after fuel pump is on for starting the APU. Let's see, galley power is on. And moving down here, ground power is connected. We are looking good there. Okay, perfect. And next we're going to come here, circuit breakers and panels. We can leave those at the current setting. Equipment cooling is normal. Emergency light is armed. We are already fueled, so we're going to turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. And everything here looks good. Window heats can go on. And the hydraulic pumps on to the on position. Flight voice, the cockpit voice recorder is tested. And cabin climb is good. Everything here is good. And then we're going to come over to the right side of the overhead panel. We're going to put the temperature controls on normal. Turn on the recirc fan to the auto position. We're going to put the pack on auto. And we're going to go ahead and start the APU in a second. Let's consult the Navigraph charts for our final cruise altitude today, which is going to be 33,000 feet. So let's set 33,000. All right, and that is 33,000. If we also go to Will Rogers in Oklahoma City, and we go to the airport, let's see here. If we look at the charts, actually, let me go to the information, and what I want is charts, procedures, weather. No, it should be here. That's the longest runway. Elevation. All right, so the elevation is 395 meters, 1296. All right. $12.96. All right, that's close enough. All right, so everything's good here. Position lights are on. Anti-collision we don't need now. Let's go ahead and start the APU. All right, low pressure, and we'll see the EGT rising in a second. And in the meantime, we can start programming the FMC. Now, this is normally not the first page you see when you go to the FMC, so that's a bit strange there. Okay, a serious one in an airline or GAGA is a different matter. All right, so we're going to go to index. First, we're going to take a look here at the aircraft model. Obviously, this is the 737-300. We have the latest AIRAC database, which expires October 5th, 2023. This is the IXEG 733 Classics version 1.5. Position in it, we are currently at Denver International, Kilo Delta Echo November. And we're going to go to the next page, grab the GPS position, and stick it here, route, and Denver is selected. Our destination airport is Will Rogers in Oklahoma City, KOKC. And today we are United. So that is United 2155. And excellent. Next, we're going to go to the departure. And the departure today is through runway 08 through the EPKI 7 departure. Oops. Departure, runway 08 and EPKI 7 departure through the DOZI transition. And then we're going to go to the routes page. And there we can go back to the operational flight plan. And we're going to fly direct to Golf Charlie Kilo. Golf Charlie Kilo. And from Golf Charlie Kilo, we're going to fly direct to Rolls. All right, and from Rolls, it's the arrival into Will Rogers, runway 35 right. Okay, so we're going to go back to the arrival, and we're going to select the CAMET 3 through the Rolls transition, and it's the ILS 35 right, I suppose. ILS 35 right. And let's take a quick look here and see the transition. So we are arriving to the CAMET 3. And the approach is the ILS 35 right. ILS 35 right. Okay, there we go. That's ILS 35 right. And we see here. All right. Thank you very much, Job Bongfed, for a 34 months membership here at the channel. Been looking into a lot and can't find it on the org store. It's not. It's on X Aviation. The aircraft is on X Aviation. Just type !aircraft, and you'll be able to get the link here. So let's see here. It doesn't look like we have this. We don't have that transition, it looks like. Let me just take a quick look here through, yeah, Will Rogers through Netcom. All right, so route, activate, and execute. Let's go to the next page. Next, and it's a vectors to final. All right, so that's off D and then runway 35 right. Okay, perfect. Next, we're going to go to the performance. And from the performance page, we need the gross weight, which you can get from the X-plane. Again, I just really don't like this. 114080. So 114080. And that will automatically populate the zero fuel. And then we can go back to our flight plan here and check the reserve. So the reserve is going to be the alternate plus the final reserve, which is about 5. The cost index for the flight is 27. And the cruise altitude is 33,000 feet. Cruise wind today is 303.26. 303.26. Excellent. And the ESA deviation is 6. And transition altitude is 18,000 feet. All right. Godspeed V1 had weird things happening yesterday. Really? Oh. Well, we'll take a look. I have done one test flight earlier this morning, so we'll see what happens. I know that in my test flight, which was from a different route altogether, but you guys selected the Denver route. The VNAV was pretty violent, so it was like a 4,500 feet per minute descent at the top of descent. So we'll see what happens today. We'll leave the N1 limit as it is. We're going to go to takeoff. Flaps 5 is already selected. And looks like CG trim is selected as well. We're going to put in the data here. 142 for our speed. V2 is 142. Is set. And let's go ahead and set our... Oh, I hate this. All right, let's just do it this way. So we want 33,000 feet. All right, 33,000 is set. Let's come back here, make sure everything's okay. Let's check our trim, 4.2. So it's almost actually there. All right, that's 4.2. I love the stab trim sounds on the IXEG. Very, very nice. All right, so that is set here. We're going to come to the second FMC unit, and we're going to set this on the climb. And we are pretty much ready. We have IRS alignment now, and we're actually good to go. All right, perfect. All right, what else do we need to do? We are set here. We need the altimeters, without a doubt. Don't get your hopes up. The engine sounds are terrible. The engine sounds are actually not bad, but you know what really bumped me out is the fact that they still have the checklist, which is nice. What really is they replaced the rain effect, and I thought previously that the IXEG 737 had the best rain effect of all aircraft. It's just it was very, very immersive. And they replaced it with the default X-plane rain effect, which is a little bit, it was kind of disappointing. All right, let's put this on the APU. Let's bring up the bleed, turn those off, and supply some conditioned air to the cabin. All right, let's take a look at our weather. Here, we're going to go to the weather information. The weather information here at Denver is variable wind, variable direction. 04 knot visibility is clear with more than 10 miles. Current temperature is 20 dew point 2. The altimeter is 3032. So let's set that 3032. All right, 3032 is set, and we're going to do the same thing on the. I love the cockpit. We're going to do the same thing here, and we've got the nice reflections as well. So let's do that. 3032. All right, perfect. We have to do some more tests here just to make sure all is good. All is good here. Test 2 is good, and the lights test. All checks okay. Perfect. We're going to come down here and check the ground proximity warning.
Glide slow. Pull up.
Perfect.
Wind shear.
And
Wind shear.
we're going to test the
Wind shear.
TCAS.
Terrain. Pull up. Runway awareness. Okay.
Meters.
Runway awareness okay. Perfect. So everything here checks okay, and we are ready for engine start. So before we do that, we're going to go to the comms, and we're going to set the radio to clearance delivery 118.75. 118.75 is set, and set to the active frequency, and we are now ready to start our engines. Perfect. The anti-collision lights are on. We're going to turn on the fuel pumps. We're going to turn off the pack in preparation for engine start, and we are ready to go. I was not even paying that close attention. All right, so let's go ahead and do engine number 2, and now we should see engine number 2 spooling. As you can see here, oil pressure rising. And at 20% N2 will introduce fuel. Another thing I've noticed is that the fuel switches here don't have any sound, which is a bummer, because now I'm used to the Zeebo sounds, and they sound great. This one has no sounds whatsoever. So that's a bit of a bummer. All right, so we're close to 20. There we go. Take care, Drishal. We'll see you next time, my friend. All right, we have a good start on engine number 2. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. There we go. Flight directors on. Yeah, the sounds, I have to say, are quite nice. They're too quiet. That's probably because I've turned down the volume so you guys can hear me better. All right, we go to about 19. There we go. Let's go ahead and fuel. All right, in terms of the lights, everything here is good. Okay, so we'll just wait for the engine to stabilize. Didn't take very long for the engines to stabilize. which, again, I don't know how accurate that is, but let's switch this to map. And the range is 40 nautical miles, and we are ready to taxi to the runway. We're going to bring the yoke back, and let's set flaps 5. The texturing is done nicely on the aircraft. Could use some work, to be completely honest. So not the highest fidelity there on the wings, but yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's quite nice, but could use some improvement in my view, and that is of course my honest opinion. I love this aircraft. Tell you guys, don't get me wrong, I love this aircraft, but I was expecting a lot more than just a port to X-Plane 12 minus some of the features that were very useful in the previous version. All right, we have the we can turn on the generators, the engine start switches to continuous, and we're going to come here to the packs. Packs can go to auto. Isolation valve is on auto. Engine bleeds are on. APU bleed is off, and we can turn off the APU, and we can also remove the ground power unit, which we should have done a little while back, but this stream was not off to a good start in the beginning, so all right, all's looking good. Taxi lights are on, and we are ready to taxi to the runway. The auto brake is set to rejected takeoff, flaps 5, and we are ready to go. So parking brake is released, and off we go. We're going to give it a little bit of power here. I do like the wing views on the IXEG. All right, we're going to make a turn here on Zulu and head over to runway 08 for departure. Is this aircraft still in use in real life? I very much doubt it. And if it is, there are probably very few that are still being used in real life. Look at those wings. And I think they fixed the wing flex as well in this version. I believe our runway is right there. If we look very quickly on our Navigraph chart, let's close that. And let's click here. There we go. Yep. So we're going to leave, and we're going to turn on Mike. Yeah, we'll turn on Mike for the runway. I'm off the taxiway there, kind of doing my own thing there. How is your FPS? It did cost the upgrade. If you already have the IXEG like from day one, the upgrade fee is $14.95, which is very reasonable. And if you recently purchased the aircraft for X-Plane 11, then the upgrade is actually free of charge, which I would have to really salute the developer for this decision. The fact that they've offered this free of charge for the recent buyers of the aircraft and still offered a very small fee for those who were there with them from day one. $14.95 is not a bad price to pay to have this aircraft in X-Plane 12. But I sure do hope that they would work on the improvements, and because I know this was pretty much an abandoned project for a very long time. So I do hope that they would continue now to improve the aircraft with more updates, more improvements, more fixes, more frequent than what we're accustomed to with the IXEG. All right, guys, a quick reminder that the Fly Lilo nonprofit organization fundraiser has started, and it's going to last from the 15th until the 30th of September. Old donors will enter a giveaway at the end to win some scenery, some aircraft, and perhaps even a copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Landing lights are on, runway turn-off lights are on, taxi off, and the strobe lights can go on. Everything else is looking good. Let's turn on the pitos. If you like to support a great cause, Fly Lilo is definitely a great cause to support. And what they do at Fly Lilo is they provide adaptive gaming devices to the disabled in our community to help them enjoy gaming and flight simulation. So I will be definitely very grateful for any help that you can provide for the organization to help our fellow disabled in the community enjoy gaming. All right. Auto throttle is armed, and we are good to go. Those engine sounds, though, are really nice. Let's turn the clock. All right, here we go. Knots check. V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb, and gears going up. Those sounds are just great. Right, let's trim the aircraft a little bit. Right, VNAV. Right, and speed check, flaps 1. Flaps up, LNAV, Command A engaged, flaps up, landing gear is off and locked, auto brake to the off position, just look at that beautiful view of the IXEG wings. I think this release certainly has potential. It does have potential without a doubt, and I do hope that they continue to improve the aircraft now that it is available for X-Plane 12. The developer seems very nice and very open about fixing issues and responding to the community. So that's always a plus. 900,000 feet. We're going to turn off the landing lights. Runway turn off lights off. Engine start selectors to the off position. And we're going to release the passengers. And non-smoking goes to auto. What is it complaining about here? Duct overheat. We need to reset this. The reason why you've seen this duct overheat is we turned on the APU bleeds while the engine bleeds while the APU bleed was also on. And for that reason, you got that duct overheat message there. All right, we're climbing to 10,000. And let's see here. Do we have a restriction? No, no restriction, so we should climb. All right, so it wants to reach its speed, the FMC speed of 290 knots, and then it will start pitching up. There we go. And now the aircraft is pitching up. If we go here to the climb profile and take a look here, we can see that to Apu in about 19. Right, looking good. The HSTBM is one of the reasons why I still have X-Plane 11 installed. Oh, you still have X-Plane 11, Niels. Oh, wow. Indeed, quite active in the forums and with a roadmap for things to come. Yeah, definitely. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's just that, quite honestly, you know, when I first loaded the aircraft, I was like, wow, you know, the IXEG is finally here. And then I was, you know, disappointed to see some of the features gone. I do like the fact that you have the cabin there, you can open the doors and what have you. I know a lot of people wanted that, so they definitely listened to the community, but taking away features is probably not something that sits well with me. But yeah, it does look the cockpit looks really, really good. And one of the very few aircraft that does not look so dark in X-Plane 12. By the way, the weather radar works fully, so we're going to turn on the weather radar. Let me set the heading bug. So you've got your terrain and your weather both work, and we can probably put this on TARA as well. So that works as well. We're going to squawk 2000. So the weather radar works, and the terrain works as well. So if we click here, now you've got your terrain on here on the display. For some reason, you don't have it on the first officer side, so you just have it on the captain side. Not sure why, but you know, that's the case. You still have that nice feature when you change the knob here. You can get a preview of the map right here of the mode that you've selected. One of the things I really like about the IXEG. And moving the throttle would still show. So if I move the throttle now, you can see it here on the bottom side of the screen. So that's another thing I really like about the IXEG. Hello, Q8 from Logan, New Jersey. I'm running late. I was able... oh, you were doing some yard work. Oh, that's cool. Well, welcome. Glad to have you here. All right, we're coming out to 18,000 feet, which is the transition altitude. So we're going to set the baro to standard 29902. 29902 on the captain's side. And we're going to move here and set it on the first officer's side as well. 29902 is now set and cross-checked. All is looking good, and we continue our climb to 33,000 feet. And here is a look at the outside, ladies and gents. Hello, Captain. Is there any graphic improvement in the airplane? Not that I'm aware of, with the exception of the passenger cabin. So one of the things they have constantly showed is this part here. Let me just go real quick here and show you guys the cabin. So this part is definitely new. They've done, I think, a good job there modeling the service area here and the door. And by the way, the doors you can actually open yourself. So if you just go here and move it, it will actually open. The cabin has been improved a little slightly. So yeah, nicer cabin than the previous version. The resolution definitely better than the previous version of the passenger cabin. There. Non-interactive, of course, but doesn't really bother me that much. That's it's non-interactive. We can go to the back here as well. Again, nothing here you can interact with, but they've modeled things, I think, nicely in this version. Now, the big question is going to be for a new buyer. So we know that if you've been an IXEG, if you've purchased the IXEG from day one, you can upgrade it for $14.95. And if you've purchased the aircraft for X-Plane 11 recently, I think they specify the date, then you will get it for free. But for somebody who's a newcomer to X-Plane 12 and interested in buying the IXEG, is the price justified? And in my view, that the price is, I think the aircraft in its current state, as it is today, I think it's a little bit overpriced, to be completely honest. Just having flown this aircraft so many times in X-Plane 11, and just removing features from it, we lost some of the features. We lost that great rain effect, and there is no improvement over the previous version. So the aircraft needs some work still. But yeah, I personally think that it's a little bit overpriced. The Solar Runners are fascinating. Inside the cockpit, they almost look like World War II era airplanes, but with primitive computers. Yeah, agree. I love the classics. And by the way, you can change these gauges. So if you go to from the preferences menu, you can remove the steam gauge, and now you'll get those digital gauges, which personally I don't like. I prefer the steam gauges. Then from those are the visuals. From the advanced, you can have ABITAP as well. So as you can see here, we have ABITAP integration. Works nicely. I personally don't use ABITAP that much, and I prefer to bring it on the screen if I need to use it rather than have it on the aircraft. You can, do the fast IRE alignment, which is the ADDONS alignment. That can be useful. Disable ghost throttles. I actually like to have them, so I would leave them on, as you've seen earlier in the stream. You can change the aircraft here to have eyebrow windows, like you see here. As you can see, again, it depends on your preference. From the start state, you are able to change the aircraft's rate from cold and dark, turnaround, and ready to fly. Ground services, connecting ground power air supply, and open the cargo doors. You can also instruct your cabin crew to open the doors and turn on the emergency lights, and you have a number of failures here that you can simulate for an extra challenge. Yeah. Not bad overall. I know, yeah, I'm not sure what you guys are talking about, so, You have working coffee brewer in the cabin. Yeah, I suppose so. Oh, I see. So there is something going on. You guys have addressed it. Any beluga stream on site? Well, why not? I mean, yeah, I am going to be doing our next flight. By the way, is going to be from Dhaka to, if I can remember the name of the airport in Nepal, Kathmandu, something like that. I just watched a video of a Thai airline. It was one of those documentaries on airline accidents. And felt inspired to fly in that region. So our next flight is going to be on Bangladesh Airlines, service from Bangladesh, the capital of Bangladesh, to Kathmandu in Nepal. It's one of the world's most challenging approaches, and we're going to be doing so in the PMDG 738, and that's probably going to be in probably on Tuesday. Q8, can you fly the FS Labs Concorde in P3D version 5? Captain Jake, I do not have P3D version 5 anymore, or version 6. P3D causes serious issues on my machine, including throttling, CPU overheating, and every problem that you can face. So I've removed it completely, and it really is just a sim that I feel needs a lot of work before I will attempt to install it again. That's Druck Air Route. No, I don't know, Pip. I really don't know. I have no idea. We just removed an annoying person. Well, thank you very much, Alex, and thank you guys for keeping the stream chat a comfortable place for everyone. And I do appreciate everything that you guys do. So thank you. You know, incidentally, I was at the Hot Start Discord server the other day, and from every now and then I go to the Discord servers, the popular ones at least, and I read what people have to say. I learn a lot by listening to what people want, the wants and do not, what people want and do not want, especially in a stream format. And it was very interesting to read some of what the guys had to say, and it almost made me laugh, some of the comments that they made about me. So it's like, yeah, Q8 did this and he did that, and one of the guys, saying, he used to be my favorite and now I can't stand listening to him, and all that good stuff. And some people are genuine enough to tell you. So I just kind of put in a message there, and people started responding. We are, by the way, at 33,000 feet, our cruise altitude. And if we look here at the FMC, we are approximately 260 nautical miles from the top of descent. So we have some time. Let me switch here so you guys can also see the wing view. So, some of the guys, Mario Del Toro says, good evening, Captain. How's life going? Cool to see some new old aircraft come up in X-Plane 12. Absolutely. Are there any news on the Flying Jason updating their 727? I know they are working on it, but I have no ETA on its delivery. Trolls can be soul destroying. I hate them. Yeah, Wycliffe, I know what you're saying, my friend. I know what you're saying. So one of the guys actually told me, he's actually somebody who is a subscriber to the channel and a supporter of the channel. He said, Q8, I really like, what you do. I like the format that you follow, and it probably works for your audience very well. But what I don't like is how many times you say hello this and hello that on stream. And if you can just limit that to saying hello everyone in the beginning and then, greet everyone again at the end, that would be great. But it's like you're in the middle of saying something very interesting and I like listening to you, but then you would break it off to say hello, such person or that person. And it's okay if, their point of view, a couple of them that, their point of view is it's okay to have a discussion, Q&A, that sort of thing. It's just distracting when you're in the middle of saying something that we're interested in, and somebody walks into, or somebody pops into chat and you just say, hello this person, hello that person. And I get it, I get it. And I'll try to, see, the problem is, I understand that not just in flight simulation, but generally in life, guys, you cannot make everyone happy. And if that becomes your goal, then you're going to fail miserably. I always tell my guys, the team I work with at work, I tell them, look, if you want to make everyone happy, go and sell ice cream. And that's how you make people happy. You cannot make everyone happy. I know people have certain preferences and certain things that they like and dislike. And I'm totally okay with that. I just like to know what the majority wants so that I can, deliver content to the majority of you that you can enjoy. I don't want you stopping to say hi. Well, that's very kind of you. It's a little hard to hear you over the sim sound. Is it? Well, let's see if we can fix that. Not sure if that has brought the sounds down, but we can always go to the IXEG menu, go to the preferences, and let's see here. Master sound volume. Is that better? Right, save. Maybe that's better. All right. I can hear you with not any issues at all. Okay. No worries, Alex. Ladies and gents, we have XP72. Hello, XP72. Welcome, my friend. Don't ever stop saying hello. Well, what a pleasant surprise. Guys, of course, you know who XP72 is, right? He is an excellent content creator and a beautiful human being. Please do visit his channel. Give the guy a few hundred likes and subscribes. He is one of my absolute favorite content creators. And it's always a pleasure watching your streams, XP72. Thank you very much for everything that you do for the community, sir. Appreciate it. I've got you 5x5. All right, excellent. Yeah, having you greet some people when they come into the stream is one of the things that make you stand out. Well, thank you very much, Mario Del Toro. I appreciate it very much. I really appreciate it. Gold Gamer. How's it going, my friend? Don't worry too much. You are one of the most kind and polite streamers there. Well, thank you very much. Perfect combination. I appreciate it. I really, truly appreciate it, guys. There was another comment. Again, some really strange comments. There was another comment from a guy saying, well, Q8, I'm not going to use the term that he used, but I'm just going to replace it with the word messed up. The DA20 review, because he does not understand differential brakes. And that just made me laugh because, it's in the stream, I do say that it is very difficult to control this aircraft on the ground, meaning the DA20, because of the way the brakes work. And the same thing, by the way, happens with the tail trackers. They are very difficult to control when they are simulated properly. In a flight sim, they are extremely difficult to control. But what I was actually reviewing, my contention in the review was not because it was difficult to control it. But what other developers have done in a similar aircraft for the same price range is he actually took the time to introduce a feature that's called braking assistance. And that assistance will help those of you who are less, I would say, less fanatic about, flying the aircraft as it should in real life, give them the opportunity to also do it with ease. And so when I review, I don't just review the aircraft itself, but I compare it to other aircraft that are available for the same price range. And that's very, very important. Take care, XB72, and guys, please do visit XB72's streams. Do subscribe to his channel. Give the guy 100 likes and subscribes. He is definitely worth it, and he deserves it. Just what a great human being this guy is. I just love his channel, and I do really have a lot of respect for his person. One of the greatest guys in our community. All right, we are at 33,000, ladies and gents, 211 nautical miles from the top of descent. Good time to start putting the information. I'm going to go ahead and set the heading bug here. All right, heading bug is set. And we're going to come down here, and we are going to, first we're going to create a fix. So the fix is, we're going to put is around runway 35 right. All right, so let me zoom in so you guys can see. All right, and we're going to go to the fix page. So runway 35 right. Okay, and the radial, we can put 350 radial, and we can put 10 nautical miles. And then we're going to put another one, so 350, but this time we're going to put a 20 nautical mile ring. And that should be sufficient for situational awareness. Then we're going to go to the approach reference. And as you can see here, the approach, the ILS frequency is 110.9er. So 110, not that, 110. Let's see, 110.9er. Is set, and we're going to set it here as well. 110.9er is now set. Excellent. We're going to set the approach course as well, which is 356 degrees. 356 and 356. We are going to select flaps 30 for the arrival today, and 136 plus 5 is 141. So 141 is now set. Perfect. Everything is set here. If we go to the plan page, so let's select plan, and we're going to do maybe 20 here. All right, let's step through, step, and then here, this is the 20 nautical mile, and this is the 10. So this is 20 nautical mile range, and this is the 10 nautical mile range, and this is the approach course highlighted here. There's a beam that points to it. So we are all good. Excellent. Let's take this back to the legs page and switch this to map and put this on 80 nautical miles. Reset our view. Brilliant. By the way, this is okay. All right, perfect. All right. The flyby sounds are exceptional on the IXEG. Very nice wing views there. Yeah, the whole flying aircraft to the numbers criticism is not deserved. You do a great job of showcasing planes as a whole, giving honest and unbiased opinion from a similar perspective. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate your kind words there. That's a very fair statement, and I do appreciate it very much. Thank you. It is a wonderful plane, without a doubt. The IXEG is a plane that I just adore. And like I said, it's one of the most advanced aircrafts created for X-Plane. The flight model of the aircraft, the sounds, when it first came out, there was nothing that comes close to it. Of course, now there are many aircrafts that are equal or even better in fidelity than the IXEG 737. So I'm very much looking forward to see what the guys over at IXEG will do with the aircraft, because they're, in their own words, they have built the aircraft or they have kind of redeveloped some parts of the aircraft, the framework that holds the aircraft, in a way that allows them to bring about additional improvements to it. And I can't really wait to see those improvements in the days, months, and years to come. Speaking of that, I have been really enjoying the Challenger 650 by Hot Start. It really is becoming one of my favorite aircraft to fly frequently. It's just really so enjoyable to fly it. And there's so much to learn. Every time I fly that aircraft, I learn something new. Something new about the aircraft and something new about aviation in general, which is perfect. What do you use for traffic? I use Traffic Global from Just Flight. For me, the best flyby sounds for any aircraft. Sergio, I would have to agree there with you, yeah. How is your prog page looking, calculating distance to TOD? It is, yeah. So if I look here, so we are at 167 nautical miles. If I go to the progress page, it is calculating, yeah, to TOD is 166 nautical miles, right there, 165. The one thing that I did notice in a previous test flight is at the top of descent, the rate of descent is huge. Is just, I'm going to compare it today. You know what we'll do, folks? We are going to check it out today with Navigraph. So it's just way too much. If I look here, so currently descent to destination is 1,045 feet per minute. Let's see what we get at the actual top of descent, which is in 166 nautical miles from now. We'll see what we get. I love the fact that, everything syncs properly now. So here we can see the rate of turn, destination about 224 nautical miles to our destination. And we are at 33,000 feet. All is looking good here. The stat trim sounds are just amazing. Gotta love them. All the aircraft, so ADF, VOR. Speaking of VOR, let's see here. This is our clock. ADF, VOR, DME1. Let's do something here. Let's go. No, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, so we are somewhere over here. So that's us. Let's see this VOR station. And 1082, let's, So we do get it. So the VOR works all right. As you can see here, it's pointing in the right direction. And I know somebody was saying that VOR was not working, but looks like VOR works exactly as it should. So we're going to turn this back to 110.9er. Okay, which is the LS frequency. All right, so again, VOR does work without any problems. Gold Gamer, I very much like the IXEG. Unfortunately, it seems to have a flight model way off, according to Captain Blackbox yesterday's stream. I hope that the devs can take a look at that. Interesting. The HSCL60 is an incredible add-on, absolutely, Niels. It's one of, it's actually the single most advanced study-level simulation of an aircraft for flight sim, period. Nothing comes close to it. Does this have an AFB? There's no EFB with this aircraft, no. Q8 is waiting for an update fix before doing this review. Once he gets it, he promised he'd get it out. You're talking about the LES DC6, I suppose. And that is exactly right, what Stan is saying. There were some issues. Anthony, how are you doing, my friend? Glad to have you here with us, and thank you very much for your support, sir. I appreciate it. So there was a problem with the LES DC3 has two variants. It has a classic and modern variant. And there was a problem with the modern variant. So before I make the video, I decided to give the developer a little bit of time to, fix some of the issues, and then we'll do a fair review of the add-on. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Where are we here? Let's go to cruise. 135 nautical miles. All right, so we're not too far now from our destination in Oklahoma City, Will Rogers International Airport. Wonder why we haven't been receiving the frequency here. Let me check. I'm going to set it to, let's see. Let's go to Oklahoma City, and we're going to go to information. We're going to select comms, and we're going to look for the approach frequency, which is 118.905. 118.905. We're going to set the frequency so we can hear the approach as we arrive. 18905.
Wind 350 degrees.
Oh, that's giving us the ATIS.
More than 10 miles.
No, that's not what we want. Okay, let's select another frequency then. Let's see, Oklahoma City, again, approach control at 119.3. 119.3. 119.3. Okay. All right, we'll keep it there. And as soon as once we are closer to the airport, we should be hearing the approach ATC chatter. I'll take a look. See. I'm disappointed as well with this plane. It took them almost a year to get this out. I expected a little more modernization, not basically a cabin refresh. Anthony, as much as I'm excited to have the IXEG in X-Plane 12, I have to say that I share some of your disappointment with the add-on, without a doubt. Simply because I was really expecting something spectacular, which it is. I mean, the IXEG is one of the better developed aircraft, but there is really nothing. I think they just made things work for X-Plane 12 for the most part, and still, by the way, the circuit breakers are not modeled. That would be a nice thing to have. Now, considering the price point of the aircraft, I expect this to be like a study level with everything, no inops, everything should work. That's the sort of thing that I would expect, when paying a premium price. Again, of course, and by the way, I did pay the premium price. I did not use my upgrade coupon just because I wanted to support the developers, so I paid 84 or 89, whatever the price was. I paid the full price for the aircraft just to show support for the developers. of the aircraft. But again, I support the developers, but then I also am I'm under responsibility to report to you guys exactly what I feel about the add-on and whether it's worth its current price or not. So yeah, it is overpriced in my view. The cabin has been refreshed and it is what it is. It's an aircraft of its time. Circuit breakers being modeled. It is expensive. I did use my update coupon. Oh, I did use. Oh, cool, Wycliffe. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, like you said. But I think there's still, you know, a lot of things that you can improve with this aircraft. I do really love this area here. The central pedestal, or the lower pedestal, and the throttle quadrant area are just so nicely done. Overall, I do like the aircraft. I do like the look and feel of it. It is a classic without a doubt. Some very nice detailing across the 3D model. The representation of aircraft systems is done to a very high standard without a doubt. Just really was, you know, thinking something really wow is going to come in this version. Rework our GUI interface to a more flexible... Oh, I see. So hopefully we can see more and more improvements over the coming period. Did you manage to make the... Sorry, what was that? Did you manage to make the coffee machine work? I couldn't. I don't know. I don't really care about the coffee machine, but what coffee machine? Let's see. Is that it? That coffee machine. I mean, I think this is just for... you can turn it on. Oh, how cool. I didn't know it even existed. Alright, water is hot. Hot plate is on. And let's see, work area. Brew. There we go. I mean, that's a nice touch. I guess it's brewing. I don't think you can pour the coffee, but coffee water maker boiler. You've got an oven too. Yeah. Hot plate is on. Right, has some instructions. It says place the copper pack steam down in screw cup, install the server and brew cup coffee, pull the brew handle down to stop, press on off switch to start coffee machine. Yeah, I'm not sure. It just doesn't work. I think it's kind of like the wiper. It doesn't work. All right, now it says, let's see that, yeah. So brewing is complete, but I don't think that it's currently working. Yep. Anyway, we'll turn this off and we'll go back to the cabin. I wouldn't buy the JAR A340. It doesn't seem to be committed anymore to fixing it. The JAR A340, and generally speaking JAR aircraft, in my view, are not very well done. They did serve a purpose when X-Plane was in its early... So when X-Plane 10 released initially, I think JAR has offered something that was not available before. For example, the Airbus from JAR was the only Airbus that you can really enjoy, and it was a lot better than the, what do you call it? There was another Airbus, gee, I can't forget the name, I can't remember the name of it, I totally forgot. What was it called? I can't recall the name of that, yeah, I can't remember it. Anyway, people should read everything before doing anything. I agree with Wiper needs fixing. The taking off in heavy rain without wipers. Yeah, for sure. Hager, thank you very much, Carl. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, the Hager aircraft. So those were like the worst ever. But then, you know, when Jar Design came, he offered something new to the community. And his add-ons at the time were the best Airbus that you can have for a flight sim. Then, of course, you know, he didn't really improve upon, his add-ons. He kept making very small changes here and there, adding features to it, but it was very modest improvements. Then you started seeing all the high-fidelity aircrafts coming out for flight sim. For one, for example, we saw the Airsoft Airbus. The Airsoft Airbus, while not a study-level aircraft, it offered a lot of immersion for flight simmers. It had, simulation of ATC voices, an automated checklist. You can interact with your first officer. Visually, it was a very nice aircraft, and that actually has made a lot of people move, also to, FSX and P3D. But also the Jar Design is it has some other add-ons such as the ground handling, the follow me car. He has some other add-ons that I think are useful and quite immersive for flight simming. God bless him. I know he means well and tries, but his dev team is very small, so it's hard to get done, and he wants to. Yeah, for sure. They are developing the plane as a hobby besides their normal day jobs. They don't have the amount of time in a week that professional developers have. See, that is something, again, that is very true. I do agree that the guys over at IXEG are not dedicated developers. Well, I have a lot to say about the pricing then, but I'll leave that for another stream. I'll see what comes out in the next few updates. All right, so we are getting close to top of descent. We are about 53 nautical miles from top of descent, and if you look here at our approach plate, we'll take notice of the altitude. So we need to be at 2,900. That's the initial approach altitude, 2,900 feet. So I'm going to reset the MCP altitude to 2,900 feet in preparation for our arrival. 2,900 is now set. Excellent. Here's the top of descent, 47 nautical miles. It looks like a little bit of clouds. And by the way, today we're flying with Active Sky XB12. The X-plane weather was again giving me problems. I think there was a problem with the X-plane weather. Why is this so bright? Jeez. All right, let's try to fix that. So the panel, we'll bring this down a little. That's too much. Why is it so bright? Let's bring that down a little bit. This is totally off, so why is it so bright? Maybe, let's see if it's down here. Yeah, maybe that's why. Alright, let me just put this down a little bit. No, it doesn't help. Wow, look at that, it's so bright. I know it's not a critique, but at the end we have to wait years as a result, but great devs, no doubt. Absolutely. I think they're all engineers, so they're great guys and developers, but it's far from $85 plane. When it first came out, it was definitely worth $85. Is it worth $85 now, considering all the other aircraft that we have? I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. All right, here's the view outside, and I have to say that this is looking very nice. The clouds are looking fantastic in this particular situation here. The plane looks a bit dark, but yeah, everything else looks pretty nice. I love the light scattering in X-Plane. I think it's done very well. And yeah. By the way, folks, the review of Vision XP, I think it's called Vision XP, is coming. It's definitely coming on the channel. Below the MCP, is it? Let's see. Where are the knobs below the MCP? Is it this one here? That one? They don't work. Fuel used. Yeah, I don't see anything here. But it's very, very bright. Visual XP, thank you very much, Alex. Appreciate it. Yeah, it is definitely coming, and I will be. Can actually turn on the lights here. That's okay. And so I'm going to reserve all my comments on Visual XP for the upcoming review. All right, 28 nautical miles for top of descent. I think they just released an update again. Oh, they did? Who, Visual XP or IXEG? I'm wondering where the buttons are to reduce the lights here, because they are just too much. Oh well. That's just way too bright. Oh, Visual XP, I see. Oh, I think I do have that update. Yeah, I do have that update for sure. The night lighting is definitely very nice. Yes, I agree. Change this, maybe it will. I think it's already set that way, even if you change the time. Just look at this beautiful sight here of X-Plane 12. Those sounds are exceptional. All right, here's stop of descent in 7.7 nautical miles. Q, are you going to Vegas next year for the expo? Absolutely. Unless, of course, something comes up and I am unable. But the plan is I am going to go, and I am going to be a diamond sponsor of the event. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a dedicated booth, though, this time around. I will think about it and consult my good friends. I normally on the channel, guys, on the important decisions regarding the channel, I always consult my good friends and the circle of people that I trust. And that's how I come up with the, you know, major decisions on the channel. So yeah, I'm going to consult my friends and see if that's something we want to do. Here is stop of descent, and we have begun the descent. Now here's the thing. You can see that we are descending at 4,100 feet per minute, which is excessive. And this remains until, what is Navigraph saying? 3,000. And we're still descending at 4. Alright, now it's kind of coming back. FMC message is probably going to ask us to do a drag. Now we're good there. Alright, 29. Yeah, drag will be required, more than likely. But you can see how fast the descent is. Alright, let's set our altitude, the heading bug here. Right, 28,000. Let's get the altimeter for... Alright, we still can't hear the radio, which is strange. We'll worry about it in a minute. Let's just check the weather real quick. The weather at Will Rogers is 330 degrees, 7 knot wind, 10 miles visibility, scattered clouds at 4,500, scattered at 6,000, scattered at 25. The current temperature is 26, altimeter 3012. Okay. They should do such an expo in Europe from time to time. Well, I mean, the organizers are American, so it's probably easier for them to do it there. In Europe, there are probably a lot of laws and things that they're not accustomed to, they don't know. It would be very, very difficult for them to organize it there unless they have a European partner who can help them on the ground. Otherwise, it becomes very, very difficult for them to do that. But yeah, I would welcome having it in Europe. A lot shorter of a flight for me. All right. We're looking good here. 3012. And we're going to go to information. Let's go to 124.6. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to go to... let's see. We'll go to tower. All right, we'll go to tower at 119.35. 119.35. All right, we'll leave it there. See if we get anything a little later. All right, looking good. I'm just going to change the time a little bit because things are getting really dark. There we go. Yeah, now we can listen to Will Roger Tower on the radio frequency. They came, then come visit the flight simulator weekend in the Netherlands. Yeah, why not? Q8 goes to the Netherlands Expo, I will also go. I might just do that, actually. I might just do that. Do you have any information, Alex, on when is it taking place? Is it like, does it coincide with the expo in Las Vegas? By the way, folks, if you are interested in the scenery of either Denver International or Will Rogers, both are available through chat command !scenery. I'd like to also remind you guys that the Fly Lilo September event is on from the 15th to the 30th of September. I will be conducting a raffle at the very end of all the donors. They will be entering a special giveaway to win things like scenery, airplanes, and also copies of Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you do decide to help the disabled in the community, please be sure to include your gamer tag as well, so that if you're a winner, we are able to give you your gifts in a timely manner. I will have more information on all the giveaways a little later on. And by the way, my very good friend Captain Canada is also streaming for Fly Lilo, and I do want to thank him very much for his support to this great cause. All right, altimeter 3012, 3012, and he's actually this whole week he's flying X-plane. Yeah, which is a pleasant surprise to see Captain Canada back in X-plane and enjoying the sim. I knew he'd come back eventually to flying X-plane. I know he's been very critical of it, but you just can't help but fly the excellent aircraft in X-plane, and the Fly Jason Q400 is just an incredible aircraft. That is a joy to fly. It really does make the experience in X-Plane 12 a lot better. Or better if I want to be donated to Fly Lilo. That can be arranged, Alex, if you want to do something out of the ordinary, if you want to do something special, just message me over Discord. We can discuss that. Well, he wasn't too enthusiastic about it. He said he wasn't about to fly again anytime soon. I think this whole week, I think he streamed earlier today on X-Plane as well. So I think he's, this whole week is going to be an X-Plane week. Alright, 14,000. Here's a look at the beautiful wing view of the IXEG 737. God, it feels just nostalgic to be able to fly this aircraft again in X-Plane. What ATC is that we're hearing? Sergio, that would be X-ATC chatter. I've spoken about it in many of my earlier streams. It's an excellent add-on by Stick and Rudder Studios, and the guy behind it is Mark. Mark, again, is a great guy. I love the community. I love some of the devs in the community. They're just so nice and so humble. And yeah, Mark from Stick and Rudder Studios is the developer of X-ATC Chatter here. If you can go to my plugin, see here, X-ATC Chatter. So that's what I use. The nice thing about this is like install and forget. It will every now and then pop a message says that an update is available of the ATC clips. They get them from Live ATC, and there is like thousands of clips now covering the entire universe. So it's a program that I highly recommend. It's a non-interactive ATC, but it will bring a lot of immersion to your experience flying in the sim, especially if you're, don't fly on one of the online networks. You can hear definitely real-world radio communication for the correct airports as you fly in the sim, and it uses real-world frequencies. So you can, if you actually look at the airport chart and you put in the correct frequency in your radio, you will hear that specific frequency playing. It says drag required. All right, let's put the speed brake out and reduce our speed. All right, we're coming up down to 10,000 feet. Landing lights are on. Runway turn-off lights are also on, and we're going to turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. Looking good. We can reduce the range here. Let's go to 20 nautical miles. There we go. That gives us a better view. We are just passing the 20 nautical mile range, the 20 nautical ring. And this is the 10 nautical mile ring. So there at exactly the 10 nautical mile ring, we're going to make a right turn. And then we'll continue over to Wake, Nikon, and then it's the vectors to final for runway 35 right. Still looking all right. The flying gas mask. The most mentioned thing in channel this evening is that the wipers do not work. So I guess it's pretty good. The FS weekend in the Netherlands is held in a big aviation museum. There's even an old 747 DC-2, DC-3, I think. It's pretty cool. Oh, wow, cool. If you can send me the information, I'll be more than happy to take a look at it. Captain Cadet has all week dedicated to XP. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, I've got to adore this aircraft. I don't know if you guys noticed that in X-Plane, when you're flying over the US, the mesh actually looks better than the rest of the world. See here, let's take a look here real quick. See this here? I mean, this is not photo real on anything, but it actually looks a lot better than, you know, the other locations in the world. It looks more decent. All right, there we go. 8,000. Here's our turn. Looking good. So far on the descent, with the exception of the initial violent descent at 4,200 feet per minute, I think the VNAV, LNAV calculations are done quite well. I think the autopilot is very stable. It does exactly what it should when you command it to. So I think in terms of errors and bugs and things like that, I think they are minimal, to be completely honest. So I don't think they're that bad, but I still think they, you know, they should have probably tested the aircraft for another week or so before release. But no complaints, man. I'm very happy to have the aircraft working in X-Plane. We've been flying for 1 hour and 9 minutes, folks. And we are almost there now. You can see here once we pass Nikon, it's the vectors to final. So we'll just wait. We should actually start descending momentarily to 6,000 feet. We are still within the 10 nautical mile ring. So the airport is to our left now. There we go. That's the airport. You can see it there. Very nice airport. Link. This is a Payware airport, by the way. But it's a nice airport. Definitely well developed by, I believe, Zometry. I think that's their name. FMC. What is the FMC one? Drag required. All right. Let's set the drag here. Hey people, please help out Q8, smash that like button, subscribe, and thank you very much, Alex. I appreciate it, my friend. Very, very kind of you. All right, so we can retract.
At 135 heavy for right. 135 heavy near tower, 1105.
Sneak on. All right, perfect. Now here's what we're going to do, folks. We are going to continue until we are outside the 20 nautical mile range to give ourselves some time for the turn, heading back into the approach. So we'll give the aircraft some time. We're going to pass the 20 nautical mile range ring, and then we're going to turn back and intercept the ILS for runway 35 right here at Will Rogers in Oklahoma City. And drag is required. Drag is not required anymore. Should be fine. So let's clear that. The all MCP altitude is set. Let's set the auto brake to number 2. The 737 who does not complain about that it requires drag. It's not properly modeled 737. Yeah, I guess you're right there, Alex. Look at those lights there, the landing lights. Just, you gotta love it. What a beauty of an aircraft.
United 135 heavy, traffic holding in position, cross runway 4 left kilo, contact ground 28. Cross 4 left kilo, ground 28.
Okay.
United 135 heavy.
Let me set the heading bug. I can see the localizer needle there and the glide slope, so we'll just allow the aircraft to gain a little bit of distance, and then we will descend. So we'll wait to be outside the 20 nautical. And again, this is, guys, this is one of the reasons that situational awareness in situations like this is very important, and creating those rings is extremely helpful.
That was 4045, and then Juliet, cross runway 4 left, ground 28.
Nice, from left cross at Juliet to ground 24.
You can say whatever you want about a 737, but it wants to fly, and it wants to fly fast, and it does not want to slow down. Helps a lot when doing DME arcs also. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Right, we'll allow the aircraft again to pass the 20 nautical mile ring. We can see the glide slope and the localizer needles here, so we are good, and we'll have sufficient distance to descend. We are at 210
Attention all
knots.
aircraft. Rogers. Altimeter 3010.
3010. Let's adjust the altimeter. 3010 and 3010. All right, there we go.
United 2680, and 2680 near tower, wind 1005.
All right. So just as we pass the 20 nautical mile ring here, we're going to begin our turn towards the airport. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to come to the FMC, and we're going to select Crope, and we're going to set it here as the active execute. And the aircraft is going to turn now, and we're going to activate the approach. Well, the aircraft should be descending. What is going on here? Alright, let me just go to vertical speed here. Not sure what it's doing here. That was very strange.
Number 2, runway 4 right, clear to land.
Yeah, that wasn't right for sure.
Kilo cross 4 left over ground, clear 3544.
But it goes back to what you said, Alex. Yeah, it wants to fly really, really fast, which it did.
Echo 37 Heavy at Mike up 24 left, contact ground 28.
All right, let's just make sure everything is configured now for... You know what? Oh, it is extended. Okay. Let's see if we can slow the aircraft a bit quicker.
724, runway 4 right, clear to land, 1004.
Clear land 4 right.
The approach is activated. Perfect. And we are about 19 nautical miles from the runway, so we should be fine. Yeah, we can see the airport ahead of us right there.
No, 2680 is traffic holding a position at Kilo, cross runway 4 left.
Looking
contact
good.
Caution 4 left.
All right, if we come to the approach plate, the final speed is 141. Okay, 141. Excellent. Right, we want to go to 160 knots.
Jazz 670 near tower, you on the frequency by chance?
Tower Jazz 670.
That's the arrival runway right there, 35 right. Looking good. That's the 10 nautical mile range. We can actually go to speed check flaps 1. That will help us reduce our speed.
Jazz 670, continue now, Kilo, cross runway 4
Right,
left,
looking
contact
good.
Kilo cross 4 left over the ground.
That is X-Plane 12,
Jazz
correct.
670, confirm cross runway 4 left to Kilo.
All right, localizer has been captured.
Jazz 670 over the ground.
Not sure what the aircraft is doing here. Right.
3 island 4 right.
Landing gear coming down.
003, runway 4 right, clear to land.
4 right.
Not sure what's going on. Let's take a quick look.
American 1878, traffic holding a position, continue Kilo, cross runway 4 left, ground 28.
Kilo cross
Very
4 left.
strange what the aircraft is doing. Alright. So what I'm going to do is we're going to head back again. It did not capture the localizer for some reason.
Jazz 670 near tower, you stop clear turbulence, there will be a heavy Boeing 777 firing parallel runway.
Alright,
wind
so
down
we're going to
904,
go
runway
to
4 right, clear to land.
Good land, Jazz 670.
heading select. And we're going to attempt to intercept the localizer again. Very strange.
2208, exit the next high speed pop of 4, hold short runway 4 left at Lima, please.
Papa 4, short 4 left, Open United 208.
Thank you, company traffic, short on again.
Let's verify the accuracy. 110.9, 110.9 is set. Okay, that's fine. We'll just attempt the approach again.
American 1878 nearest tower, you on the frequency by chance? Yeah, just taking it now, American 18.
All right, so 161 flaps 5. Actually, let's go to flaps 15. All right, and now we can go to.
1878, reduce your final approach speed now. You have an overtake on the
All
regional.
right, let's see if we can capture the ILS this time. Uh, 356, correct. Why did that change? There we go, 356. I have it there set. I'm sure I've set it. Maybe I've changed it earlier.
208 at Lima, cross runway 4 left, contact ground.
Papa 4 left, contact ground, United 208.
All right, let's see if this one is successful. We are going to decrease the range.
Next 724 at Mike. cross
Right,
runway
we're
4
looking
left,
good.
Contact ground.
I'm on clear cross 4 left ground, yes.
That's the marker. All right.
Next 2010 heavy. counter
Landing
approach.
gear is down. We are at 160 knots. The final speed is 141, is it? 141, correct. Okay. Let's see if that works. The airport should not be far from us now. Right to our right. Okay.
Next 1878, runway 4 right, clear to land, wind 1005. Land runway 4 right, American 1878.
I'm sure it captured the ILS earlier, but then it did some strange things. So let's see if we can capture it this time.
2213 just outside of Dune, ILS 4 right.
2213 near tower, outside to reduce your final approach speed, expect landing clearance on the Fremont final.
Going final, United 2213.
Okay, let's see. Well, I don't know why it hasn't captured the ILS.
United
But,
2213, runway 4 right, clear to land, wind
What we'll do
1004.
is we'll just manually land the aircraft. That's okay. There we go. VR lock. Took some time, but it eventually captured the ILS. Alright, we're going to reduce our speed to 141 knots. Okay, speed check and flaps 25.
1004, runway 4 right, clear to land.
4 right, clear to land, United
Everything here is set. Engines to continuous. And we have the runway in sight.
256, traffic exit downfield, runway 22 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 22 left, American 250.
Alright, and flaps 30. Speed brake still extended.
Okay, the 518, number 2, following traffic on the
So
short final,
need to
runway 22
arm
left, clear to
those.
land.
Clear to land, 22 left, again 518.
Just look at how beautiful this aircraft is, guys. Wow. Looks super.
Tower 7, 25 mile final, 22 left.
Go to 262,000 Ember, traffic 1 mile final, winds 250 at 9er, runway 22 left, go to land.
Go to land, 22 left.
All right, there we go. Let me adjust the throttle.
Tower, good afternoon, wind is 330 at 8, runway 16 left, cleared to land.
And we are clear to land, runway 35 right, here at Will Rogers. We're looking good.
South 882 Tower, good afternoon, wind 350 at 10, runway 16 right, cleared to land.
Clear to land, 16 right, southwest.
A little bit of crosswind.
And the 526 Tower, good afternoon, wind 350 at 6, runway 16 left, cleared to land.
Clear to land.
1,000.
1,000. Right, the speed is, let me set my throttle quadrant.
That's 453 Tower, good afternoon, following company 6 miles ahead, wind
All right,
340 at 8.
let's go ahead
runway
and
16
disconnect
right, cleared to
the
land.
auto throttle,
16 right, clear to land, southwest, 453.
and we're going to disconnect my aircraft. Ooh, crosswind there.
400.
Attention all aircraft. Rogers. Altimeter 3012.
Wow, some really strong crosswind.
SkyWest 1346, exit either high speed, continue via
Light
Foxtrot
slope.
and contact ground
Light slope.
127.5.
Light slope. Light slope. Light slope. Light slope. 100. Light slope. Light
50,
slope.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Southwest 882,
And ladies and gentlemen,
turn left at
welcome
high
to
speed,
Will
continue via Delta
Rogers
5,
International
contact ground
Airport in
127.5.
Oklahoma City.
Exit,
Reverse.
high speed, Delta 5, contact ground.
80 knots. Manual braking. And we've made it safely. Here's the main terminal to our left. And we'll take a look at the replay in just a second.
162, visual 16 left.
Peninsula 162 Tower, good afternoon, wind 33.
All right, hopefully no surprises today with the replay. Hopefully it just works. All right, we'll do the cleanup once we're done with the replay. All right, let's do this. No, come on. God, I hate this. You know, I think, guys, I know what the culprit is. I think it's Active Sky. Because every time I use Active Sky, I'm unable to do the replays. When we don't have Active Sky, it works just fine. So, yeah, we lost X-Plane there. So let me just fire it up again. And yeah, that is exactly what the problem is. It's Active Sky. So no more Active Sky for streams. That's for sure. Moving forward. Yeah, that's really, really bad. I wanted to see that landing, but yeah. What can I say? All right, we'll just put the aircraft somewhere here. And we'll load it up. And we'll do our final thoughts. Not sure about that. I've had the CD on replay as well without Active Sky. Oh, really? I've never had it without Active Sky. I know when I have Volanta or, you know, Sim Toolkit Pro or Active Sky running in the background, I get those CTDs on replay. I'm not sure why. But yeah. Yeah, it's very sad. Great landing though. Yeah, it was a nice landing. It was a nice landing. I was below the glide slope there, and I didn't know there were the winds were so, the crosswind was very strong. It was variable. I don't think it was cross. I think it was variable wind. I'm not sure what is the current wind there at. If we look here at the weather, 356 knot wind. Yeah, so not too strong, but yeah. All right. So we are back at Will Rogers here at the gate, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this flight. The first look at the IXEG 737. My final remarks really is, first of all, I have to say that I'm extremely excited and very, very happy that the IXEG is finally available in X-Plane 12 and we can enjoy it. And according to what I've read in the forums, is that the developers are going to bring more improvements to the aircraft. Again, a very good call by the developers, making the upgrade for recent people who have acquired the aircraft completely free of charge and charging only a $14.95 for the first, the early adopters of the aircraft. That was a really good call from them. I heard this when you were about to land glide slope. That's correct. When you fly below the glide slope, that's a caution. It's an information message that tells you that you're flying below the glide slope and that you need to climb a little bit to bring the aircraft on the glide path. So that was some bad flying on my side. So all in all, it's very good again to have the IXEG joining the fleet of the excellent aircraft for X-Plane 12. I think it is an excellent aircraft. It's got some depth of system simulation, the sounds of the aircraft, the fidelity of the visual model as well is really commendable. I just was expecting the kind of downside of things with the IXEG is that they've removed some of the features. And I'm not exactly sure why is it called the IXEG Classic Plus. So the naming I don't understand, and I don't understand why they removed some of the features. But from the 3D modeling perspective, this aircraft looks gorgeous. Very, very nice aircraft in terms of the 3D model, in terms of the sounds, the depth of system simulation. Overall, very enjoyable aircraft. Is it study level? I don't know. Maybe it was when it was first released. But by today's standards, I think this aircraft is a high fidelity representation of the 737 Classic, but I would not label it as study level from the perspective of what we've seen in recent years and what has been really labeled as study level. Today, in my personal and humble opinion, the only aircraft that I would call study level, they're a very handful, by the way, maybe the Phoenix A320, the Challenger 650 by Hotstart, the single most complex aircraft, I think, built for flight sim. PMDG is definitely study level, without a doubt. But all of these aircrafts are at different levels of the depth of system simulation, and the Challenger 650 being the most advanced of them all. The IXEG is probably, I place it in terms of the depth of system simulation to where I would place you know, the tallest aircraft. So it is there. I must say that it has a lot better sound set, better visuals as well in the cockpit. So yeah, it's probably a notch higher than the tallest, but it does not compete with the Challenger 650 in terms of the depth of system simulation. Well, this is these are my thoughts on the IXEG 737. Again, I'm just absolutely oozing with excitement to have it for X-Plane 12. I never really thought that it would come to X-Plane 12, and now finally that it is here, I'm quite thankful. I'm very happy, and I would really like to thank the developers for their dedication and commitment to this add-on. Again, an iconic add-on for X-Plane 12. Well, folks, this pretty much brings us to the conclusion of our live stream. We've had a lot of issues with this stream today, beginning with the sounds and ending with the CTD when replaying, but I hope nonetheless that you've enjoyed the stream as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and bye-bye for now.